Rise the Tide, everybody. Half a day, Joe Guam here. I want to thank you guys for joining me for another Rise the Tide episode. If you're new to the show, thank you guys for joining us. Rise the Tide comes from the ancient Chinese thought that high tide rises all ships. So if we focus on contributing to rising the tide, other folks in the community could benefit from that as well. So my contribution to the community and to the tide is through music, and I share in these episodes, I share kind of the things that I've learned over the years from other folks, and as well as things that I figured out on my own, and hopefully it can help you if you're a musician, or if it help you if you have to, maybe you have to associate or interact with a musician. So today I want to talk to you guys about, this one's a little interesting. Should I drink alcohol before or during a gig? When I'm playing, right? When I'm a musician, should I drink alcohol before or during a gig and playing a gig? Now, I hope this doesn't cause any controversy. I'm right off the bat, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna sit here and say you should or you should not. That will not happen in this episode. So apologies if that's what you're looking for, but no, that's not what I'm gonna say. What I am gonna do is give you some things to think about, and you can make that decision for yourself. Now, I know some folks who it is their ritual to drink before a show, meaning they say, I drink one shot of whiskey, I drink one beer, and it calms my nerves, and I play better because my nerves are calm. And getting nervous, I did an episode earlier about talking about how do you get over being nervous. Nerves is it's a real thing. Some people get anxiety. That's a real thing. Sometimes alcohol is a depressant. Sometimes alcohol helps them calm down to the point where they can be, optimal in their music playing and their instrument playing. So some folks have it down to a science. Me, personally, I don't drink when I play. It's rare if you find me even drinking. And there's a reason for that. I learned it the hard way. So when I first started playing, I used to drink because I thought, hey, rock and roll, right? That's what they do. People drink when they play music. So I thought, let's do it. Let's drink too. So I was booked to play a show. I was on a ticket with a bunch of other bands out in the States. And the event started at 7, and I was scheduled to go on 11:30 p.m., which was late. And I was like, man, I don't want to wait that long to not drink and not party with all my friends just because I go on at 11:30. So I started drinking at 7 p.m. with everybody else. I mean, I wasn't drinking heavily, but I was drinking to the point where, after 3 hours, 4 hours there, you're gonna get pretty intoxicated already. So I was pretty intoxicated, and so my number came up. I get up on stage with my ukulele, and I rocked it. I mean, I was playing, I felt like I was rocking it, and there were so many people in the front of the stage. They all came up, they were throwing their hands in the air, all the audience members were singing along with me, and they were clapping and cheering, and I rocked it. At least I thought I rocked it. What I didn't know was back then, the sound production team was recording the event. And back then, we didn't have all the gear we had now, so it was a little difficult to get recording. So when they said, hey, Joe, do you want a copy of the recording? I was like, yeah, I'd love it, man, please. So when I got the recording, it was on CDs at the time. Some folks may not even know what CDs are, but it was on CDs at the time. I threw that into my tape player, or my CD player in my car. And it was terrible music. I was so sloppy in my playing. My chords weren't clean. I was singing out of tune. It was terrible music. I was so disappointed. And I tried to realize, like, how could that be when the crowd and the audience were so, into it and just really vibing, and it was such an awesome night? How could my music be so bad that, that it came out that way? And what I realized was that everybody in the audience was probably just as intoxicated, if not more intoxicated than I was. So it was okay, and I guess I got by with one there. But after that, I realized that when I play intoxicated, it doesn't translate well to my music. So sometimes when I'm at a gig and people want to when they want to tip me, they'll buy me a drink, right? That's a common thing. Hey, let me buy the musician a drink. So they'll ask me, hey, can I buy you a drink? And I say, I'm sorry, I don't drink when I play. And they go, why not? Why don't you drink when you play? And I like to tell a little bit of a funny story where I was like, what if you hired me to cater food at your party and I showed up drunk? It's kind of the same thing. Like, you wouldn't want me to, show up drunk as a caterer to your party, because I have a job to do. So that's kind of what I think about, is I have a job to do. I don't do the job I don't do it well when I'm intoxicated, and that's just me. So I choose not to drink. Other folks may choose to drink, and you know what? Props to them, because if they are an awesome musician while intoxicated, man, that is a skill that I can't do. So props to them. But should you drink? Should you drink before or during drink alcohol before or during a show? One way you can figure it out for yourself is drink at your house. Put up a camera, just like I'm doing right now. Put up your phone, drink at your house, play your set at your house. The next day when you're sober, not when you're drunk, when you're sober, wake up, play it back. Play it back, listen to it, and you can answer yourself whether or not you feel it's appropriate for you to drink alcohol before, during, or play while you're intoxicated. Some people, you may find that you played the most amazing stuff. Sometimes when I'm writing music, when you're writing after a few drinks, sometimes you come up with some really, really interesting things that you like. So that's one way to figure out if you should play while intoxicated or while you're drinking. If you're a musician, what do? I could potentially learn something from you. Please let me know in the comments, or you can send me a private message if you don't feel like putting your thing in the comments. But please connect with me. I'd love to hear what you think about drinking before or during a show. If you're not a musician but you interact with them, let's say you own a restaurant, you hire musicians, or you own a bar and you hire musicians, is it okay for the musicians to drink? I know a restaurant contract that I used to play at where they literally said, you're not allowed to drink. If you want this contract, if you want to play here, you're not allowed to drink. They had some bad experiences with some bands and people who, musicians who used to drink in the past. So they literally said, there's a rule. If you want to play here, no, you can't drink. But then the complete opposite of that, I used to play at a bar where part of my payment was a bar tab, a $25 bar tab. So I had to drink $25 of the bar tab every night just to get paid, you know what I mean? So they make, they almost promote you to drink. So yeah, if you deal with musicians, do you think they should drink? Do you think they should not drink? What do you think? What's your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. Jesus Mas, everybody, for taking the time to ride along this journey with me on this Rise the Tide episode. Hope you guys can tune in for a little bit more. We have more coming out. Jesus Mas, everybody. Rise the Tide.